What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
And what if we told you that the health benefits of coffee could actually be increased through conscious roasting, sourcing, and processing? Introducing Purity, a health-conscious coffee company. At Purity, we've brought together a world-class team to analyze every step in the production chain from cherry to cup. We make decisions with only one thing in mind: how can we make the healthiest coffee in the world? Here's our 3-step process. Step 1, we search the world for the highest quality organic green beans that meet our exacting standards. Way less than 1% of coffee worldwide fit our sourcing criteria. Step 2, we test, and test again to create a specific roasting protocol for each harvest that maximizes healthy compounds and minimizes toxins. Step 3, we nitrogen pack our coffee within 48 hours of roasting and deliver to your door every 2 weeks to ensure maximum freshness. The result is the ultimate coffee drinking experience. You'll not only taste the difference in our clean, healthy coffee, with Purity, you'll feel the difference.
Our coffee club members report a bright, alert lift with less jitters than regular coffee and much more gentle on the stomach.
Sign up for Purity today, and you'll never have to worry about your source for healthy coffee again.
Hey, happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Ernst, and what a beautiful day we have today. I have what I believe to be a controversial topic. Hey, we're kind of famous for that, aren't we? Stirring the pot, helping you to learn, to grow and expand your mind when it comes to health. And because I've gotten some feedback from some of our listeners, I'm going to spend today discussing the association diets. What do I mean by that? Well, there's the American Diabetes Association and their diet. There's the American Cancer Association and their diet. The American Heart Association and their diet. And the curious question is, do they work? Are these the diets that you should follow if you want to get rid of these conditions? Or how about this, if you never want to get them in the first place? And I think I know by now that you know where I'm going to go with this. And the answer is no. You should never follow an association diet. So maybe this is the first time you've been tuning in. We are hitting year number 10 of the Ask Dr. Ernst Show, which, I mean, I'm looking back and just going like, I can't even imagine it's been 10 years already. But in those 10 years, we've had a tremendous journey. And many of you have been here through that. And some of you are literally brand new. So again, my name is Dr. Aaron Ernst. I am the clinic director of Cornerstone Health Center, which is a Charlotte-based multi-practitioner integrative clinic where we teach people one thing, how to become their own doctors. We can teach you how to heal yourself. In fact, watch this. I just polished a brand new book. It's an electronic book, and the title is Diabetes Heal Thyself. This is brand new, guys, fresh off the press. And I'm going to give this away all during our show today. It literally has everything. Notice the subtitle, A Complete Functional Guide to Reversing Type 1, 2, and 3 Diabetes. Brand new book, just off the press. It is electronic. You can get it for free. Hey, how do we do that? Well, simple. Pick up the phone right now and text your name and your email. Yes, we need both, your name and your email. And it's just 704-906-2094. That's our call number. We use it for everything. And you're going to text in your name and your email, and that gives you this free ebook. It gives you access to my next live event, which is on May 21st. That is a bit away. Why is it so far out? Well, we've had some scheduling conflicts and some issues with, I'll just call it production. We're going to leave it at that. But now we have a date solidified, the 21st of May. It is going to be called Diabetes Heal Thyself. Not only is it to kind of parlay the new book, but it's to take you through the steps. What is the complete functional guide to reversing type 1, 2 diabetes? And listen, type 3, we got to talk about type 3. So if you're a diabetic, now's the time, 704-906-2094. And what are you calling or texting for? Free access to my new book, Diabetes Heal Thyself. Free access to the live webinar where I will literally take you through step by step how you can get rid of your diabetes in as little as 90 days. We've had clients do that and more. I'm talking A1C from 7, 8, and 9 down to 5.4, 5.0, even 4.5. If you have diabetes, you know what that number means. If you don't, it's a measurement tool for us to see how bad is your sugar metabolism. Anything over 5.7, guys, is considered a risk. You're pre-diabetic. Anything over 6.4 is known to be diagnostic diabetes. And when we see numbers like 9, 10, and 11, that's when we start thinking, oh, it could be type 3 diabetes. And we have to talk about that. So today's show is about diabetes. Today's show is about the American Diabetic Association's diet recommendations. It's only 2 pages long. And we want to see, should we actually follow this or not? And if we have time, I'm going to go into the big one, the American Cancer Association's diet, and find out, should we follow the association diets? Or should you follow the diet, the cellular healing, disease reversing, health rejuvenating diet that is found in the greatest book on this planet? Not this book. I knew it. I knew you were going to say, oh, you must be talking. Sorry for the mic bump. I knew you're thinking it's this book. Here comes the plug. No, it's not this book. This book doesn't have a diet in it. What? How am I going to reverse my type 2 diabetes then? It's not through diet. It's a functional guide to reversing the underlying cause, and it's not your diet. Okay, so what is the book that has the best diet in it? Yeah, the holy book, the Bible itself. It actually has a biblical healing diet inside of it. I will discuss that diet at the webinar, but yes, pick up the phone and text now, 704-906-2094. What are you texting? Your name and your email. What are you getting again? You're getting a free ebook that I just finished. It's literally like fresh off the press, Diabetes Heal Thyself ebook. And you're also getting access to the webinar on the 21st, which is free. And then listen, what if you're saying, Dr. Ernst, I can't do the 21st? Okay, well, that's like 5 weeks from today. So first of all, are you scheduled that far out? Because if you are, good for you. But second of all, move whatever you have. Pick a different time for that. Okay, I can only do this event on the 21st, and it's at 10 a.m. in the morning. It's a Saturday. You have nothing to lose. Okay, but if you truly can't move it for whatever reason, register anyway, because then you'll get the replay, which is free. Okay, what's the worst that can ever happen with an associations diet? Well, you have to understand, these associations are not designed to get you well. They're just not. Okay, well, the American Diabetic Association, I mean, they I give them charity money and, they have walks for the cures. Surely they're out for my best interest. In fact, they published their own ebook that says the best foods that you, a diabetic, should choose. So what can you eat? This should heal you, guys. If the Diabetic Association wanted you to be well, these 2 pages would be the answer as to how to get rid of your diabetes. And you're going to see today they're not. Now listen, how much sugar should a diabetic eat? Okay, according to Medical News Today, they are recommending that a diabetic consume no more than, listen to this, 25 grams of sugar per day. 25 grams. Now, to help you understand this, okay, 25 grams of sugar is roughly 12 and a half packets of sugar. So those little tear packets, they have approximately 2 grams of sugar per packet. So the Medical News Today, WebMD, a lot of the online resources are saying a diabetic should not exceed 25 grams of sugar per day. And that's good. I agree. Okay, now, let me help you. Let's start with just their initial recommendations on this side here, okay? And I know it's super small and you can download it if you're on our video casts. If you're not, my God, right now is when you should be heading over to YouTube/Ask Dr. Ernst, Facebook/Ask Dr. Ernst. It's ASKDRERNST. All of the resources and the links are there for you. So it says, managing diabetes day to day is up to you. And I agree, it is. You get to decide. A large part of it is making known the choices of the foods that you eat. And I agree, you should choose the foods to eat. And you don't want to eat foods that will encourage more than 25 grams of sugar per day. Everyone knows that vegetables are healthier than cookies. Of course, you know that too. Yet you eat the cookies, don't you? So we need to talk about that. Here is a list of foods that will help you to make better choices. Better choices are lower in saturated fats and trans fats, added sugars, and sodium than other foods. So it says the best choices of foods are whole grains. Oh my gosh, like they already shot themselves in the face. Well, how do I know that? Remember, 25 grams per day for a diabetic. 1 cup of whole wheat flour, 95 grams of sugar. Now, I don't know if you can see this on the video or not, but they did not have the grams amount next to the list. I put them there for all of you to see. 95 grams of sugar in 1 cup of wheat flour. And they're saying that you should have that at least 6 times per day. Okay, whole oats, like oatmeal, okay, 57 grams of sugar per cup. And yet 25 grams per day is the requirement, okay? Cornmeal, 126 grams of sugar. Popcorn, 21. Brown rice, 47. Whole grain rye, 128. Whole grain barley, 135. Wild rice, 120. What am I reading to you? The grams of sugar found in those grains per cup. And they want you to have 3, if not 6 cups of grains per day. Insanity! You will never fix type 2 diabetes, or 1 or 3, if you eat grains. Guys, grains are like the hidden sugar in disguise. And it's sugar in disguise that's even hidden, because most people would say, well, I thought whole oats were healthy, Dr. Ernst. My registered dietitian says I should eat them. If you have diabetes, no! 25 grams per day is the recommendation, yet the American Diabetic Association wants you to have over 300 grams a day with just the grains. Now, next, it says fruit. Okay, and I think you know where I'm going with this. The best choices are fresh, frozen, and or canned with no added sugar. And they give you an example. You should eat a whole apple. Okay, most apples have 19 grams of sugar. So if that's all you ate for the whole day, then you would be okay, because 25 is the max for carbohydrates. Blueberries, they say. And I agree, blueberries are good, but 1 cup, 15 grams of sugar. Oranges, okay, a cup of oranges, 12 grams. Grapefruit, 11. Grapes, 15. Peaches, 15. Pears, 17. Plums, 7. Cherries, 13. Okay, the fruit list they have, I don't have a problem with them, except how are you going to not exceed 25 grams of carbohydrates if you eat anything else? Now listen, I pulled a study, and the study talks about the greatest thing that you can do medically for diabetes is to have a gastric band procedure. So this is where they go in and they put a sleeve around your stomach to squeeze your stomach and shrink your stomach. Now, why is it that gastric banding cures diabetes? Well, it's partly because you just physically can't eat very much food because they have squeezed your stomach with a sleeve. It says that both fasting plasma glucose and weight changes that occur, sorry for the ding, I need to turn my volume down, that occur during 2 years up to after the surgery resulted in a decrease in fasting plasma and a significant drop in total diabetic amounts, meaning A1C down, sugars down, weight down, okay? This was published in the Journal of American Medical Association in 2008, and it shows that if you just stop eating, your diabetes will go away. Now, you might say, well, I'm going to have to eat something, surely. Like, I can't just not eat. Well, okay, true. Look at this, which is fresh, literally fresh off the press. Okay, and again, when I say look, I mean at the camera screens. Hopefully, you are watching this live. Now, if you are listening through WBT airways, good, but not good enough. Pull over right now and grab out your phone and go to Facebook and hit Ask Dr. Ernst. Click the little like button and then boom, watch the video. Or if you're not a Facebooker, I get it. Everybody's up in arms. I mean, Elon Musk is buying Twitter. Bill Gates is saying, don't listen to anybody. The news media, oh my God, they're losing their minds saying, if Musk buys Twitter, free speech as we know it will be dead because he will control what you think, and that is our job. That is insanity. Okay, so we have to be careful where we get information from. So YouTube and Ask Dr. Ernst is a great one, or my website, askdrernst.com. So back to this. I don't know, again, if you can see this, but this was published in February of this year, okay? Last year, 2021. Now listen, intermittent fasting, is there a role in treatment of diabetes? A review of the literature and a guide for primary care doctors. Now listen, this article says, hey, MDs, you should start doing this with your patients, okay? What does it say? I've highlighted it, and I doubt you can see it. Download it. It'll be in the links in the comments. I'm going to read to you the results. The majority of the available research demonstrates that intermittent fasting is an effective method at reducing body weight, decreasing fasting glucose, decreasing fasting insulin, reducing insulin resistance, decreasing leptin, and increasing adiponectin. Now, you might think, what the heck did he just say? Basically, fasting will fix everything. You'll lose weight, your sugars will improve, your resistance, the insulin inability will get better, leptin levels go down, which means you burn more fat, and adiponectin goes up, which means you burn more fat. Now, here's the best part. And again, it's highlighted, so download this document. Ready? Some studies find that patients were able to reverse their need for insulin therapy during therapeutic intermittent fasting protocols as long as they were supervised by a doctor. Okay, fine. Conclusion. Current evidence suggests that intermittent fasting is an effective non-medical treatment option for type 2 diabetes. Did you hear that? A non-medical treatment. You could treat yourself if you just stop eating and you go intermittently, which means no breakfast, smaller lunches, dinners within a window. And should we follow this advice? The American Diabetic Association's plan for food? No, this is terrible. Why? Well, they say milk is the best choice of a liquid to drink. Fat-free milk, 12 grams of carbohydrates per cup, just so you know. Unflavored soy milk, 10 grams of carbohydrates per cup. They say you should eat non-fat or light yogurt, which is anywhere from 17 to 31 grams of carbohydrates, depending upon the brand. And they also say that you should have legumes and lentils and beans, which are loaded with lectins, which will rip your intestines to shreds, causing leaky gut, which is why we now have type 3 diabetes. Dr. Ernst, what is type 3 diabetes? Okay, I'm glad you asked. Well, it's when your brain becomes resistant to sugar. Now, the newest research, guys, is suggesting that all of the cognitive decline that is happening to most people when they reach 70. Did you see that Bruce Willis recently can't even remember who he is and speak very well? So he has to quit acting. There's even a movie series, Apple TV, with Samuel L. Jackson, I believe, where he has lost his mind and he can't remember things. Okay, so listen, dementia and cognitive decline in Alzheimer's are type 3 diabetes. It's just the medical association is saying it is some other disease that has no cure. No. It is normal as you age for your brain to stop using sugar for energy. Yet, it is normal as you age for your brain to use fat for energy. But most of you can't burn fat to save your life. So how on earth is your brain going to survive when you don't have the ability for sugar to work? Insulin resistance means the insulin cannot land on the cell to tell sugar to go in. Now, your brain requires a lot of sugar for energy. So if you get older and your brain can't use the sugar for energy, it has the ability to use ketones, beta hydroxybutyrate is one, for energy, but those only are produced when you're burning fat actively. And guess what most type 2 diabetics struggle with? Their weight. They're usually obese or they can't lose weight. So I hope you see the worst thing you could ever do is follow the American Diabetic Association diet. The worst. Why? Because they say that the best thing you could ever do is make good choices with food, which I agree. They say you should eat 25 grams of carbs or less per day max. I agree. But then they say eat fruit and eat grains and drink milk and have beans and nuts and seeds and have fats. And that's great, but they say things like salad dressings and mayonnaise, which are terrible. And then they say that you should avoid soda, good. Avoid fruit punch, good. Avoid sweet tea, good. Cut back on high caloric snacks like chips and cookies and cakes, good. Replace bad fats with dairy? No. Lard? Sure. Butter? Yes. Sour cream? Okay, but if it's non-dairy. Now listen, they keep going and it just gets worse and worse. Best sources of starchy vegetables: acorn squash, butternut squash, corn, parsnips, sweet potato, plantains. Loaded with sugar. you're going to find that if you even just follow half of their recommendations, you're going to exceed 25 grams of carbohydrates, which means you will continue to have diabetes. And the best thing you could ever do is stop eating, because most of you have enough food on you to last at least a week. So, what are we doing again today? Well, first, I am giving away for free my newest book. It is titled Diabetes Heal Thyself, a complete functional guide to reversing type 2 and 1 and 3 diabetes. How do you get this? 704-906-2094. 704-906-2094. Call and text with your name and your email, and we'll get it right over to you. You're also getting free access to my May 21st, Saturday, Diabetes Heal Thyself webinar. It's going to be live. I'm going to take you through everything you need to do to go from diabetic to non-diabetic in as little as 90 days. And when we come back, we're going to rip apart this diabetic diet and show you the real way of eating for diabetes so that you can let your body heal. All that in our next segment when we come back. And again, right now, the call lines are open, 704-906-2094. Again, free book right off the Ask Dr. Ernst press, Diabetes Heal Thyself, and free access to the webinar on the 21st of May. All yours right now, 704-906-2094. It's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. Don't go away. We will be right back.
What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
And what if we told you that the health benefits of coffee could actually be increased through conscious roasting, sourcing, and processing? Introducing Purity, a health-conscious coffee company. At Purity, we've brought together a world-class team to analyze every step in the production chain from cherry to cup. We make decisions with only one thing in mind: how can we make the healthiest coffee in the world? Here's our 3-step process. Step 1, we search the world for the highest quality organic green beans that meet our exacting standards. Way less than 1% of coffee worldwide fit our sourcing criteria. Step 2, we test, and test again to create a specific roasting protocol for each harvest that maximizes healthy compounds and minimizes toxins. Step 3, we nitrogen pack our coffee within 48 hours of roasting and deliver to your door every 2 weeks to ensure maximum freshness. The result is the ultimate coffee drinking experience. You'll not only taste the difference in our clean, healthy coffee, with Purity, you'll feel the difference.
Our coffee club members report a bright, alert lift with less jitters than regular coffee and much more gentle on the stomach.
Sign up for Purity today, and you'll never have to worry about your source for healthy coffee again.
Hi, my name is Gary Greenfield with Greenfield Water Solutions, and I want to introduce you to our newest product, the MR500. It's a whole house structured water filter system. It's set up in an all stainless steel multi-round filter housing. It features inlet and outlet for the water, a bleeder valve for when you're changing out the filters to reduce pressure, and to remove the top for access to the filters. You simply open up the clamp, remove the top, and this plate here holds all the filters in place. Simple to remove. It comes out, and you can see what we have on the inside here. It's 5 Aquamedics filters and a vortexing tube and a harmonizer. That's the whole system. This is designed to filter 5 gallons per minute, and all of the contaminants that it does remove are listed on the website, which is a very broad array of contaminants. These are the highest rated filters that I know of on the market that are filter cartridges. They can be changed out yearly. And of course, the process is very simple. You won't have to hire a plumber to do a change out. And the filters are available from Greenfield Water Solutions. And if you want to know more about this, you can read about it on the product page or give us a call. Thanks for watching. That's it for now from Greenfield Water Solutions.
Would you like to experience a better night's sleep? Want to feel well rested and ready for your day? Discover an amazing solution with Celliant Sleep Recovery. Our Celliant Sleep Recovery products are made from a patented yarn embedded with a blend of 13 infrared active minerals. Celliant technology never washes out. The benefits will last for their entire lifespan. Minerals reflect the body's own energy by using Celliant infrared active technology, boosting your oxygen levels and improving circulation to reach REM sleep gracefully. Our customers love to comfortably sleep throughout the night because of Celliant. We've conducted 9 independent clinical studies by well-respected scientific institutions and universities that prove the many positive effects Celliant has on the body. Our technology is designed to help you achieve a refreshing sleep recovery. Experience the foundation your body deserves. Start waking up refreshed and always ready for the day ahead. It's time to achieve the best sleep of your life to unlock your hidden potential. Start experiencing a better night's sleep with our Celliant Sleep Recovery products today. Celliant. Recycle your body's energy.
To bring you the best natural wine the world has to offer, we've designed a fully curated membership program. Every selection you receive is different and unique. Every wine is picked by our wine team, lab tested for purity, and curated into a special box for your enjoyment. So how does the membership work? We offer 2 main options, a half case of 6 bottles or a full case of 12. You can request all reds, all whites, or a perfect split of both. Then, you can set the frequency, monthly or every other month. We offer a similar simple membership for rosé and sparkling wines. After you choose these basic options, we'll do the rest. With every box we send you, we aim to present the greatest diversity of flavors, textures, and profiles. There's a healthy mix of the classics, but also rare varietals. We do this because natural wines taste different from their commercial counterparts. We want to share the best possible experience with you, so you can discover new wines you love. And you can always reorder a wine that took your heart, or ask us to avoid certain profiles. The best part is, you don't need any wine knowledge to fully enjoy these boxes. We curate our selections to be enjoyed without worry. Ultimately, this is Dry Farm Wines. We are so grateful to be able to share the power of natural wines with you.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Ernst, and I love the fact that we get an incredible opportunity to talk to you today, not just about the newness of diabetes. Okay, we have a brand new book that I just finished, literally fresh off the press this week, and it's yours free if you call 704-906-2094 or text your name and your email. The book is titled Diabetes Heal Thyself, a complete functional guide to reversing type 1, 2, and 3 diabetes. Now, over the last commercial break, I had some people text in and say, there is a third type of diabetes. How come my doctor's never talked to me about this? Where's the research? Where can I find this? Okay, it's real simple. Go to Google and watch how easy this is. Type in type 3 diabetes. And the first thing that shows up for me is news network at the Mayo Clinic. I'm going to read this for you straight. Type 3 diabetes occurs when the neurons in the brain become unable to respond to insulin, which is essential for basic tasks, including memory and learning. Some researchers believe insulin deficiency is central to the cognitive decline in Alzheimer's. Now, when was this published? All right, this article is from 2017. And it even says that research has been known for several years that being overweight and having type 2 diabetes increases your risks for developing Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. But now they're beginning to talk about it from another perspective, a third type of diabetes. This form of diabetes is associated with Alzheimer's and cognitive decline. Again, type 3 diabetes occurs when the neurons in the brain become unavailable to respond to insulin, which is needed for basic memory and learning tasks. Some researchers are even now suggesting that insulin deficiency and the resistance is central to the cognitive decline in the disease. The Mayo Clinic of Florida and Rochester, both campuses, did a multi-institutional study where they tested the different types of insulin responses to people who had Alzheimer's by literally having them snort insulin. The results of the study are still forthcoming, which means they haven't finalized and published it yet. But if you think about it, it makes sense. They're trying to get you to inhale insulin through your nose. Cranial nerves exist in your nose. Olfactory nerves go straight to the brain. If they could somehow push insulin into the brain, then maybe they could help Alzheimer's patients. What does this share and show you guys? Well, number one, it shows you that you better pay attention to your sugars now. Number two, it shows, ready for this, that if you do have a cognitive issue, Alzheimer's, cognitive decline, dementia, etc., that you probably have had or you currently have type 2 diabetes that is going to lead to type 3 if not cured. We talked at the top of the hour about how the association diets are the worst that you could ever follow in regards to diabetes. The American Diabetic Association diet is chock full of junk, in my opinion. It says that the best food choices you could make are fruits, milk, starchy vegetables, grains, legumes, and lentils, and other starchy vegetables, including pumpkin and sweet potato, plantains, corns, squash, both acorn and butternut, which would be the worst you could ever do. We also discussed that intermittent fasting is by far the best medical and non-medical solution. This article, published in 2021, even states that a review of the literature and a guide for primary care physicians, you will see the guide to fixing diabetes type 2 and 3 right here. It's published. And yet most endocrinologists are clueless, and they'll give you metformin and glucophage and Actos and insulin injections and long and short acting medications because they are a prescription, subscription-based company. Now, what is the diet that we should be following if we want to fix our type 2 diabetes? Let's turn to what the research says. These are foods that, again, are free for you to download. How do we download them? You have to go to the video feeds, guys. It's 2022. Okay, no more just listening on the airs. Okay, I love the fact I'm on the airways. I've been on WBT for over 10 years, and this show has reached millions of people, and it's helped thousands who actually took our advice. Now notice, millions reached, thousands helped. Now watch this. Hundreds reversed, and only 10 cured. Why? Because it takes a lot of work, and you have to be the doctor. Now, that's just our listeners. And I get emails every week. Dr. Ernst, thank you so much for your show. Last week, I did what you said, and I've lost 26 pounds. Dr. Ernst, thank you so much. I did what you said. I'm off 2 of my medications. Last week, Dr. Ernst, I used to have asthma. I listened to your advice, and I was on your 3 Steps to Self-Healing webinar, and my asthma is gone in 2 weeks. And I've never met this person outside of online. Never physically shook their hand, never did an eye-to-eye contact. It was done through a webinar. Why would it be a good idea for you to get on our next webinar? Well, number 1, it's about diabetes. Number 2, you're going to get this book that I just finished writing for free. Diabetes, Heal Thyself. Excuse me. Just swallowed something sideways. It is live, right? The joys of live air are the fact that every so often a sneeze or a cough rears its ugly head. Okay, Diabetes, Heal Thyself. A complete functional guide to reversing type 1. We're going to talk about that in a second. 2 and 3 diabetes. Okay? Complete guide. Everything you need is in this book. And it's absolutely free. How do you get it? 704-906-2094. Text your name and your email right now to that number, and then bam! Not only do you get that, but you get free access to the webinar that I'm hosting on the 21st of May. That is a little bit away, but it's going to take you step by step by step. I'll even read your labs for you. I'll even go all the way into an individualistic, medicalized consultation on the webinar. I will teach you how to no longer be a type 2 diabetic, but you have to take action. You remember, millions of people have listened to us. Thousands of people have gotten transformations. Hundreds have become reversed, and a few have actually cured their conditions. And you can do that too. Okay, so what are these superfoods for diabetes? Okay, what would I eat if I was a type 2 diabetic? I would not eat this stuff, okay? The American Diabetic Association is so far in the wrong field, it's not even funny. If you're a type 2 diabetic, you cannot eat fruit until your A1C becomes normalized. You certainly can't have whole grains or dairy at all. So let's look at this list, okay? This list says the foods that will help to control and minimize blood sugars. And again, it's completely free for you guys. Use the comment sections below to find the links that I have posted for all the ebooks, and they're all right there. Okay, so ladyfingers, which some of you might be like, what? What the heck is a ladyfinger? It's also known as okra. Okay, we're in the South. Okra, eat it, pickle it. Oh, I don't like it, Dr. Ernst. It's slimy. When I cut it open, it looks like mucus. Yeah, those are called viscous fibers, which repair your intestines and help to decrease your blood sugars. You should be eating okra regularly. Cauliflower, that's pretty straightforward. You guys know what that is. Green leaf lettuce and other green lettuces like spinach and kale and dandelion and chard and cabbages. All right. Onions. Okay, now listen, I had some people, say, well, hey, how come the Diabetic Association, they didn't say anything about vegetables? It says fruits and grains and milk and beans and dairy and all that stuff. Okay, they do say non-starchy vegetables. But listen, green beans are 7 grams of carbohydrates. They're not on my list. Carrots are 6 grams of carbohydrates. Eggplants and mushrooms and tomatoes and spinach and onions and peppers. Now, did you know that a yellow pepper has 12 grams of carbohydrates per cup, whereas the green has 6? So if you notice it, can you eat peppers? Sure, but you need to eat the right ones. Can you eat carrots? Yes, but not the orange ones. There are other colors of carrots. What? Purple carrots? White carrots? Parsnips? Sure. Green onions, fantastic. Beets, phenomenal. Turnips, cucumbers, capsaicum, which are the peppers, like, again, the green pepper, the chili peppers. How about this? Bitter gourd is one of the best things you can ever eat if you have type 2 diabetes. Bitter gourd is known to increase the sensitivity of insulin, activate the sugar channel, and help to get sugar into the cell to be burned for energy. Bitter gourds look like warty cucumbers. And so most people just don't eat them. And they're very difficult to find in their whole form. So you get them as a supplement, bitter gourd supplements. Lemons are great. Both are radishes great, both white and red. and ridged gourds, which again are a type of a cucumber, gourd by definition, egg whites. Now, what's unique is a lot of times the yolks people are sensitive to and allergically sensitive. Not that you are allergic to them, but your body thinks that you're allergic. And so we try to avoid the, the yolks. But the whites are fantastic. Broths or simple stews, things like a miso broth or a bone broth, a chicken broth. Water. Yes, it is a food, guys, and most of you are just not eating enough of it. Literally, water. Indian blackberries, cinnamon, garlic, and fenugreek will complete the list. Now, the only argument I have with this infographic that my team made is they put the orange carrots when it should be the purple or the white carrots. So just, maybe the revision you download will not be this one. But my team does a great job, and I'm not trying to knock them. And look how cool this is, right? So we have the foods you should focus on for type 2 diabetes. Now, notice how many fruits were in this list. How many apples and peaches and pears and nectarines and grapefruits? Nada. How many whole grain carbohydrates are on this list? Popcorn and rice and barley and oats and things like that. Nada. How many of the, what I would call dangerous lectin-based beans do you see on here? Black Kento kidney beans. You guys ever done that before where you took a word and you took the first letter from the one and the first letter from the other and you inverted them? That's what just happened right there. Black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, lentils, peas, refried beans, baked beans, none of them. You don't see them on here at all. The only bean you see is an Indian blackberry, which is technically not really a bean, but it is sort of. Okay, so where does all this information come from? It comes from the fact that when you want to reverse diabetes, you have to do it with a diet that is anti-diabetic. If you want to follow the American Diabetic Association's diet, you will remain an American diabetic. After all, they want you in their association of diabetes. And we don't want that. So we want you to reverse it. Again, we talked at the top of the hour. We need to start intermittent fasting. You need to start intermittent fasting. How do we do that? Well, guys, it's super duper easy. For a beginner, just simply skip breakfast. And it's not that you have to not eat breakfast. It's just don't eat it when you wake up. In fact, most of you need to wait at least an hour or two to let your blood sugars come down for the love of God from the abuse that you gave your body the day before. So I'm going to give you now something for free. Several things for free. Number one, my newest book, Diabetes Heal Thyself, is free. And it's an electronic book, and it can be delivered straight to you. It is a complete guide to functionally reversing type 1, 2, and 3 diabetes. How do we get that book? 704-906-2094. How do we download the modified American Diabetic Association diet so you can see how bad it really is with all the carbohydrates listed next to them so you can see it's impossible to follow their plan and stay under 25 grams of carbohydrates per day? That is on our links in both Facebook and YouTube /Ask Dr. Ernst. Just go to the video, look at the comments, and click on the link that lets you download them. How do you get this, the diabetic superfoods food list, for free? Well, you go again to the Facebook page and the YouTube page, and what do you know? It's also in my book. Excuse me. Again, the coughs. How do we get the intermittent fasting guide research study, full PDF document if you're a nerd and you want to read the research? It's in my book and it's in the links. Okay? How do we get registered for the webinar that is coming up on the 21st that will have everything you need? Well, you call 704-906-2094 or you pick up your phone like this right now and you start going like this. And you say, my name is Jane Smith. My email is jane.smith@gmail.com. Send. What number are you texting to? 704-906-2094. It is that easy, guys. Okay, we have about 7 minutes left. So what I'm going to do is answer some questions that have come through by private message. Okay, I love that, but use the comments in both Google and Facebook. Look, right now should be the time that you grab your camera, my camera is on. Grab your phone. And if you're on Facebook, you can swipe left and right, and you'll see that when you swipe to the side, there's these like icons, okay? There's a thumbs up, there's a heart, there's a smiley face. I want you guys to start tapping on it over and over and over again, like thumb, 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 heart, 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 heart. What this does is it's an algorithm that Facebook looks at to see if there's people engaging in the videos. Because if you're not engaging, they think this is boring. And if it's boring to them, it's boring to everyone else, which means no one will see it. Okay, the other thing you can do is swipe up or down, which will actually show you the description of today's broadcast. And then you can share it by clicking on the link that says share. It's that easy. Now, if you're like, I don't know how to do this. Okay, well, hit share, and then you'll see more options. And there's one that says copy. Now, you could go email that to a friend. You could go to your Facebook page and say something like, oh my God, my mind was just blown. I listened to the Ask Dr. Ernst show, and they described getting rid of type 2 diabetes in 90 days or less. Check it out. Paste, send. Like, it's not that hard. But yet, I do realize that some of us are getting older, and technology is getting more difficult. But hey, maybe that's because you're starting to develop type 3 diabetes, and you can't remember who you are or how to use your phone. Hopefully that's not the case, but what if it is? There is a way out of that, and we can help you tremendously. So a couple things before I answer questions. AskDrErnst.com is your key point. Access, the key. That's what you need. It gives you everything. The resources, the guides, the books, even the consultations. The video feeds found on both Facebook and YouTube are your answers. Okay, use the comments, guys. Engage, ask questions, and click the links to download the information that you need. Okay, so Mary says, Dr. Ernst, what a great show. My blood sugars are currently over 125 in the morning, yet I'm on 2 medications by my prescription physician, and my A1C is still north of 5.8. What can I do? Okay, so Mary, here's the thing. You're never going to solve this with a medication. It's because they are synthetic, and to your body, all things that are synthetic are seen as foreign and will be stored as fat in your liver. And the more fatty your liver becomes, the more difficult it is for your liver to regulate your blood sugars. So it's this conundrum. More medications is probably their answer. Yet that results in more liver damage, and your liver's the very organ that repairs you. So what I would recommend is that you not only just get the free ebook, because it's going to take you step by step, and you start following the diets that I did, but you really need to start engaging intermittent fasting. And if your sugars are super high in the morning still, over 120, my recommendation to Mary and everyone listening is don't eat until your sugars are in the 80s or less. Now that could take some of you 3, 4, 5 hours. It could even take some of you 3 or 4 or 5 days. But the recommendation generally, if you really want to knock your sugars down fast, is wake up in the morning and test. If you see 120, wait a couple hours, test again. If you see 110, a couple more hours and test again. If you see 90, a couple more hours and test again. 86, now you can eat, and it might be 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So what did you just do? You inherently just became an intermittent faster. You waited until your body was ready for food to eat. Okay, so hopefully that helps, Mary. All right, John, we're going to keep last names quiet. Another private message. Dr. Ernst, I've been struggling for years with type 2 diabetes. I followed a previous functional program, got really good results, but then it has all then since come back. A statement more than a question. So let me see if I can think I understand. Why did it all come back if you did everything right? Is that the question? More than likely, when you do a holistic program and it works, and then it comes back, it's because you stopped working that program. You probably thought, oh, I did it. I'm no longer diabetic. I can go back to Ho-Hos and, Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Puffs, and, whole grain toast for breakfast. No, this is a lifestyle, guys. I would never eat that stuff to save my life ever. So do I have diabetes in my family? Yes. Do I have people who have come in with type 2 diabetes and have cured it? Yes. Do I have family members that refuse to listen to what I say and still have diabetes? Yes. So part of it is it's not so much that it can't be done, it's that you need to go work it again. Hopefully you saved all the documents and you just follow that functional program again. Okay, Susan says, I no longer need the medications because I've been taking herbs and supplements, but my sugars are still creeping up. Not nearly as high as they need to be a diabetic, but they're definitely north of 100. What can I do? Okay, so what I'm hearing is used to be a diabetic and used to take medications, found some resources, more than likely like supplements, and started using them. It was getting really good results. And so insulin's responding, sugars are coming down, and your doctor said, okay, you can stop the meds. Well, here's the thing. You could be becoming sensitive to the current medications, prescriptions. My goodness, not prescriptions, supplements. You could be maybe becoming sensitive to them. Like if you take bitter gourd and nothing else, it's not going to work. You have to kind of rotate them just like you rotate foods. There are some really good glycemic index destroyers. So what I would recommend is download my diabetes ebook. It has an entire chapter on what you can use over the counter that works better than what you can use prescriptive. So hopefully that answers that. All right, 30 seconds left before they're going to kick me out of my airtime. So thank you for being here today. If, again, you would like the Diabetes Heal Thyself book, 704-906-2094. The book is free. The information will literally help you to heal. And don't forget, the 21st of May at 10 a.m. is my next webinar. It's live, and it's going to take you step by step through what you need to do to be no longer a diabetic. 704-906-2094. That's 704-906-2094. Hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'll see you guys next time.